Welcome to another episode of the Ronny Phillips Show. I'm your host, Ronny Phillip, with the Kingly Group at Keller Williams Realty, and also with Kingly Acquisitions, where we buy apartment buildings. So, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate here in Texas, give me a call. I'd love to help you out any way I can. And if you're watching this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up, give me some hearts, leave us some comments, so that way we know who's watching. So today I have one of the most powerful and inspirational players in the multifamily real estate investing space, Mr. Mark Kenney with Think Multifamily.
Hey Ronny, thanks for having me.
I'm so excited for y'all to hear Mark's story on how he acquired over $150 million worth of apartment buildings in under 4 years. So if y'all have any questions, be sure to comment below, and we'd love to answer all y'all's questions. And make sure you share this video if you find this of value. So Mark, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are. And
Sure. Yeah, so Mark Kenney, Think Multifamily, pretty much focused primarily on multifamily apartment investing. We also allow other people to come in and invest with us on deals. And then we have an educational group as well to try to help people make better, wise decisions on apartment investing and hopefully not make some of the same mistakes we made.
yeah, so he has an educational company called Think Multifamily. So when did you get started in real estate?
So I grew up in Michigan, and not because I wanted to, but because that's where I was born. And now I'm in Dallas with Ronny. And I ended up not having a lot. I tell people I had pretty much everything I needed and nothing I wanted growing up. So I had a lot of embarrassing times as a kid. I had times where I was just petrified to ask my dad for money, and it was hard. So I did the normal thing, hey, go to college. But I was like, I need to do something different. So I was in college. I was 21 at the time, senior. And I'm like, my brother and I, twin brother, said, we're going to buy some real estate. So we ended up buying, well, we tried to buy originally a duplex, just a 2-unit. And my dad used to go with us on property tours and everything. And I love the guy to death, but he talked us out of every deal we would try to get. He talked us out of it.
Yeah.
I had an accepted contract on a deal, and my dad talked me out of that deal. And I was like, and he talked me out, and I backed out of it. So I felt bad about it. But quickly after that, I'm like, I'm listening to the wrong guy.
Yeah.
He's never bought anything. He's 80 years old now.
Yeah.
And so my brother and I bought our first duplex. It was complete rehab, almost down to the studs. And we didn't tell my dad until after we closed on it.
Yeah.
So that's how I got it.
So you started in single family, right?
Right. Two unit, but yeah, small multifamily.
So when was that?
That was, I'll date myself here, 25 years ago.
Okay, awesome.
So in college.
Awesome. And what did you do before you got into real estate?
I was a CPA for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Good base, but not very exciting if anyone's out there that actually has done it before. But it helps with financial analysis for multifamily.
Yeah.
And then I did IT consulting for quite a while and worked for some pretty large companies like EDS and Hewlett Packard and started my own IT company as well, 2008. And I was always still buying small properties, but it wasn't until about a little over 4 years ago I started buying larger properties.
So what did the beginning of like your real estate investing career look like?
Early on, it looked not very good.
Yeah.
I bought in my hometown, Michigan, which is not a very good place to buy for one.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. And I was traveling, working KPMG consulting. And that time, 20-some years ago, I was traveling Sunday night, coming back Friday night. So I wasn't even home 48 hours.
Wow.
Newly married for one, which wasn't great because I was traveling all the time.
Yeah.
And then trying to collect rents, doing evictions, doing rehab on deals, fixing toilets. So I was like, man, this really stinks.
Yeah.
It's not what I thought I signed up for. And the fact was that I had to be so involved with it because we didn't have the cash flow to hire somebody. And if something went vacant or anything, I had to get it rented out because I didn't really have the cash flow to say, I can't afford to have 2-3 units vacant. If I do, then I'm freaking out again, back to that money issue I had growing up as a kid. Still have sometimes. But I didn't even want to ask my dad for a winter coat in Michigan.
Yeah.
I hid in the car with my brother and I didn't want to go and ask my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Not because he's mean, he just didn't have it.
Yeah.
He just didn't have the financial means.
Yeah, and what sacrifices did you have to make, to get to where you are now? Obviously, you had to sell all your single family portfolio, right?
We sold all of them actually. Just one of them just recently sold though.
Oh, really?
The first one we ever bought.
Uh-huh.
And it just sold, and actually after it actually burned down as well, which is sad. But
Oh, no.
I saw a picture in the paper. My brother sent it to me, and I was like, man, this kind of stings, kind of. But for me, I was always a hard worker, which that by itself won't necessarily mean you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
But my parents are hard workers, so I would, now I still work hard, but I hang around with people that are really good and can help us in our business. I don't really watch TV. There's nothing wrong with watching, I just don't.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to learn new things. I don't have as much fun as I want to sometimes myself.
Yeah.
It's always geared around the kids and things like that, which I love. But my whole thing is I want to be able to give back to the family, and I get more enjoyment out of that than me going off and playing golf or whatever it might be. So I just don't do those things.
Yeah.
I like movies. I love the UFC.
Yeah.
Fighting. I love cars.
Yeah.
And those are kind of my interests. And then I love family.
Yeah, awesome, man. And what was your first multifamily deal, and when did you buy it?
First little bit larger one was a 64 unit deal a few years ago. Bought it, and it was in Mesquite, Texas.
Okay.
It was 232 unit property, so one right next door, same seller. One was for sale, the other one wasn't, but we ended up getting them both. It was about $1 million raise on that, and it was mid-'80s construction.
Okay.
So pretty good overall. One was built as condos. But one of the lessons learned on that one was that we had a rehab budget. We wanted to do things, and we really should have raised a little bit more than we needed. We basically raised what we thought we needed.
Yeah.
We should have raised more. So I encourage people lots of reasons you want to do that. It could be rehab. It could be you're getting ready to close and the bank comes back. Literally happened to us one time. Bank came back and said you need another $700,000 before closing.
Wow.
On a pretty big deal, $20 million deal. We worked it out, but it's not uncommon where the lender comes back, and I'm talking a few days before closing, and says you need another $200,000-$300,000. That's unfortunate, so you need to have the money there, or you have rehab you have to do on a deal, and you have all this money sitting with a lender in the bank, and they say, well, we'll pay you after you get the work done. You're like, well, my contractor wants $150K to start. Yeah. You're like, well, we'll pay you after you finish the work. So you have to have some reserves for that. Deposits for things like water was $60,000 one of our properties in Atlanta.
Wow.
So I tell people you need to raise more than what you think, because things don't always go perfectly. Things will happen, and it's much better to have a little extra cushion there and to give it back rather than asking for it. It's easier to give it back than asking someone for more money.
That is true. And talk about, there's a lot of new, my audience is new to multifamily investing. So what do you mean by raising money, also known as syndication?
Right. So we were buying properties ourselves, my brother, twin brother and I, smaller deals. And then when I was doing IT, I was making good money. I have my own IT company, but I was miserable. I was sleeping 3 hours a night. It almost caused me a lot of issues family-wise. So I said, well, I need to go bigger faster. Mm-hmm. So in order to do that, now we actually raise money from other people alongside with us. We find a deal. We ask people if they want to invest in it, and then we run the entire deal. Yeah. Someone can come in, write a check, and theoretically kind of wipe their hands and hopefully collect cash flow, money in monthly or quarterly. So we go out and do that. I would just say if you're looking at doing that, there's some rules around that, like securities, SEC regulations, things like that. So don't just go out and do it. Yeah. You kind of have to know what you're doing, because there's some strict rules around what you can do.
Awesome. And whenever you bought your first deal, what did you look for when you're a brand new multifamily investor? What did you usually look for in a deal back then?
Yeah, so I always try to look for more than one thing. So some people will get a deal and say, well, I'm going to raise rents, and this deal will work. Yeah. That might be the case. But what if you can't raise rents? Mm-hmm. So if you can look for other things like, value add, where you can come in, improve the property. Without going into all the details here, people need to realize with 5 units and above, it's completely different the way it's valued than single family. So if I can improve the property, through revenue or decrease my expenses, every dollar I do that is at least $10 of value in the property. So I put $1 in, improve it, If I went to go sell it, I'm going to get $10 or more.
So this is exactly why he's on the show today, because there's a huge difference between the single family and multifamily. And what he just explained right now, make sure you rewind that and take good notes on it. So you said $1 you invest into a property, typically you can get $10 worth.
Yeah, that's at a 10 cap, which everything below 10 cap these days. So it's probably really like $16. So we have for a property right now, we're putting $5,000 a unit into. We're bumping rents, and we have a net on each unit we do of over $15,000 of value.
Wow.
And that's how people make money.
Yeah.
Not looking at the comp next door. It's all based on your net operating income.
Mm-hmm.
And the cap rate really is without going into all the details here, but it's your net operating income and cap rate will control how much the property's worth.
Yeah.
And that's something you can control.
Yeah.
Single family, I can't control if the property sold next door to me.
Yeah.
Or down the block. With multifamily, you can.
Yeah, you can control the value of the property. So I think that's really good, like how you're focusing on the value add deals, because especially for investors, you're gonna make good return on your money.
Right.
For that.
I would say too, one of the big focuses we have now is that with the market getting so hot in a lot of areas, is that we're really focusing on those locations where we can get the cash flow.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it's guaranteed, because it's not, but it's a little more predictable.
Mm-hmm.
So we own in Memphis.
Yeah.
Memphis is not going to be like Dallas probably ever, appreciation wise.
Mm-hmm.
But the cash flow is good there, and they have a lot of city incentives. You go in there, you can really make good cash flow. But your upside isn't as much on the sale, but with all the cash flow you're getting, it more than, in my opinion, balances out.
Yeah.
And I'd much rather take cash flow, which is more predictable, than trying to figure out what the property's going to be worth 5 years from now and hope the market's still good.
Yeah. So you like cash flow better than the value.
We mix. I mean, we have deals where we bought down to the studs.
Yeah.
And we have one right now we're looking at 240 doors, units. Units in, only 100 are occupied. It's a big value add deal. So we'll do all of them, but I think focusing on cash flow, especially starting out, I think is better.
Yeah. And
having a mixture of both is ideal.
Okay, cool. And how many units do you own currently?
A little over 2,600.
So that's 2,600 units, over $150 million in real estate. That's absolutely incredible. And you did this within the past 4 years, right?
Correct.
Wow. So another reason why I have him on the show, what you focus on is really, really important in real estate. So
I think with that too, people might go, "Oh, hey, maybe you're a special guy, or whatever." And the fact is, I love real estate, and we've learned so much. Like, there's nobody, like, we teach somebody, there's no issue with them going faster than us.
Yeah.
It's getting harder to find deals. I understand that.
Yeah.
But we'll share every single thing we've learned, mistakes we've made, horror stories, with the whole intention of people learning from our mistakes. So it's a process we followed, and other people are following the same process. So some people might say, "Oh, 2,600 units, I can't do that." Well, there's no reason you can't, and maybe you don't need to. Maybe you do 500 units over 5 years. That's 500 more than you're going to have without starting.
Yeah.
So I have big goals. Even this year, I have really big goals. Someone asked me the other day about one of the goals, and I told her, and she was like, "Oh, is that pie in the sky, or is that like realistic?" I said, "That's my goal."
What is your goal?
What? I don't want to say this one.
Oh, okay.
This particular one, but it's
Okay.
because I don't want to be rude. It's But last year our goal was 2,000 units.
Wow.
And we probably did about 1,600.
See,
so I missed the goal.
It's still pretty close, because if you set it for 1,000, you'd probably get 1,000 or a little bit less. But when you set 2,000, I mean, that's incredible.
And I didn't want to put it on paper.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put it on paper.
Yeah.
It's actually someone else did it for me.
Yeah.
They did it. I don't know, but so the whole idea is that you don't have to meet every goal you have.
Yeah.
But if you keep going towards it, you're going to be better off than not having goals and putting it on paper. And I'm scared sometimes to put things on paper.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't want to be like, "Man, I didn't meet that goal."
Yeah.
I'm a lot better at it now, and I'm like, end of the day, it's like, I know I'm way better off by doing it than if I didn't actually go through the effort of doing that goal setting.
Yeah. I mean, 4 years ago, whenever you're getting into multifamily, did you think you would be at 2,600 now?
No. In particular, too, because I had my own IT company. I was making really good money, and I was like, man, I cannot replace my IT income through multifamily. I mean, it's just not going to happen. You start doing it, and we start getting more and more people that are relationships and getting more deals and new markets. End of the day, I'm like, no, I never would have really dreamed of that. But now my dream, I mean, people are, when are you going to stop? I'm like, well, when it doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't make sense, I won't keep buying. Last year I could have bought 2,000 units, no problem. Yeah. But it didn't make sense. Yeah. There weren't enough deals that I found to be able to buy 2,000 last year.
Yeah, and as the market's getting tighter and different things like that, how are you sourcing your deals? Like, how are you finding them?
Yeah, so, I mean, the easiest way is through brokers, relationships that we have, they list them. Most of the brokers that we know what we're looking for, so that's easier. But we've also had deals sent to us from like lenders before, property management companies. We don't really use LoopNet. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't spend time on there. I think starting out, it might be okay. Trying to find deals there and meeting brokers. But end of the day, a lot of those deals have been out there for a long time. And they're usually smaller, which is totally fine. But that's a good source for some people. I just don't use it. Never really did. But if they're real small, MLS will have some small ones, right? But it's just being out active at events, being at meetups, being wherever you are in a circle with other people, and then deals just pop up of people that are sellers that own today. I'm like, hey, I'm going to maybe list my deal. I'm like, well, come talk to me first.
Yeah.
It's all relationships.
So most of your properties you've acquired have been off market, correct?
No, we've had some off market for sure, but a number of them have been listed.
Wow.
And it's a little easier. Well, it was easier in Dallas in my mind a few years ago because wasn't as much competition. And if you go to other markets, even outside Dallas or like in Memphis, for example, the sellers are a lot less sophisticated. So you have the opportunity of less competition. So even as a listed, you have less competition. You can get some good deals there still.
Awesome. And what markets do you invest in, and how do you identify an emerging market?
Yeah, so we invest in Dallas. We haven't for a little over a year. I like Dallas. I just haven't found anything that really works for us. Atlanta, we own quite a bit in Atlanta, and then in Memphis. We look for, it will vary, but job growth, population growth, easy to evict. Someone pinged me last week about a deal in California. I'm like, I'm not even gonna touch it. He wanted to partner on it because you can't evict there very easily.
And there's rent control there. And
So if you look at, and you don't have to have every single aspect of it. I like to see if there's development going on or redevelopment, more so by developers and less so by cities. I like when cities do it too, but that money can dry up very easily. If a developer comes in and starts tearing stuff down and rebuilding, they're in it for a profit. Cities do things sometimes, and it's not always profit-based. So I love it when a developer is coming in there and revitalizing a certain area. East Dallas, for example.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And you have an ability.
We do. A couple small ones in East Dallas, too.
Awesome. Yeah. And let's see. We all have people we admire in our career. Who are the people who inspire you?
Even outside of real estate first, I mean, Kiyosaki, his book was great, so that's real estate based. But I look at certain companies, and there aren't a lot of people I look at, I'm like, man, that dude is like crazy, great, right?
Yeah.
I look at Tesla, company, Amazon, those companies. So I look at those companies not because, and the reason is because they're fearless.
Yeah.
Dude, they start out doing one thing, before you know it, they own the world. I mean, it's like, Elon Musk is buying all kinds of different things. So I love that motivates me, even though they're not necessarily in the real estate realm. But Kiyosaki had mentioned from a book perspective, and we've been able to spend a couple times here and there at events with him. But Kyle Wilson, some people might not know Jim Rohn, who was a kind of motivational guy. He taught mentor Tony Robbins. Jim Rohn passed away, but Kyle started Jim Rohn Enterprises, was his partner for 18 years, and he's mentored us before. And the reason he's probably made the biggest impact on me, it wasn't real estate even related. It was more personal, and he gets you as a person and kind of like fits things into what's best for you.
Yeah.
So that's had a bigger impact on me personally than probably any other person, period.
Awesome. And you said, so he was one of your mentors, correct?
He is. He still is. We're still in the mastermind with him, but he did one-on-one mentoring with us as well.
What about for like multifamily and like investing and like financial? Who are your mentors in that aspect?
I'll listen to Grant Cardone. He's a much different style than me, but yeah. I tell people 99.9% of what he says I agree with.
Yeah.
And I got to hang out with him once at his condo in Miami for the day awesome. And stuff like that. But dude, I mean, everything he says, I'm like, yeah, he has it right, you know. So yeah. I love what he says.
And he always mentions like home ownership is a scam, or like, you know how he's like very aggressive when it comes to that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, he's aggressive on all things, but no, I love him. But he, you know, we don't own right now.
Yeah,
we did, and there are other reasons why. We moved our kids to different schools, so we love the idea we're in a walkable community. My wife and kids both want to go back after 3.5 years of doing that. I'm like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I look at things a little bit different from the standpoint, and Grant would disagree with this, but not every single thing you do in life has to be a financial decision.
Yeah.
It has to be an educated financial decision. You know, we put a pool in our house. That's a horrible investment.
Yeah.
But we got so much enjoyment out of it. People over all the time. Our kids loved it. They learned to swim in there. It was awesome. So I made that decision knowing that, hey, it's a bad financial decision, but I made it. And I don't regret doing that at all. Mm-hmm. But yeah, home ownership when you have 30-year mortgage and you're paying, I don't even know what it is, like 400% really interest your first, couple of years, it's insane.
Yeah.
But some people have that in their heart where they want to own something.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I don't really care about owning really a house. I like houses, right? I don't really care about owning a car. If something goes away, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so I think it's like, with like leasing and different things like that, you have more mobility.
You do, and it's more of a personal thing, but so I think there's nothing like necessarily wrong with it, provided you go into it and you're educated. Do the math on it.
Yeah.
See what percent. You're not paying 4% interest on your house.
Yeah.
Right. Being like a few 100% your first year on your house. So if you go in there making that decision, being educated and knowing that, then you're educated and you make the decision. So that's where I would probably disagree. But I know what Grant's saying. I totally get it. He rents his condo, right? Leases his condo. It's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, because I always like to see it from a multifamily investor's point of view, because you're renting your apartment buildings, right? So
yeah, no, for sure. And Kenny McElroy's another guy. He's a rich dad advisor. He's a real down to earth guy and smart guy, and he buys and holds. And I enjoy listening to him too. He has a couple books as well. They're really good. Mm-hmm. Kenny McElroy. So those are a couple guys I would say, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, awesome. And what would be your advice for brand new multifamily investors?
I would say get educated. People can say, oh, well, that's the default. No, get educated and get really good at something. So if you're educated, read books and all that and go to events, and then you try to do a deal, one, with no track record, you're not going to likely get a deal of anything of size. You're not, because you don't have a story to tell. You've never done it before, so you're not going to get deals likely. But I would say get educated and get good at, like, let's say deal analysis or raising money or finding deals. And get good at everything, but get really, really good at one thing, and then you become very valuable to other people.
Yeah.
And people will be attracted to you. If you can raise money, most people that raise money for deals like I do, I like people that can raise money. That way I can go bigger faster. If you can underwrite deals and do analysis, you're really good with numbers and Excel and things like that, that's valuable to people as well. So you can't just say, hey, I read a bunch of books and I'm really eager. That's great, but you need to be really good at something.
Yeah.
And then get hooked up with somebody that's done what you want to do. If you don't do that, you can even have money and you can have knowledge, but if you don't have a track record, you can talk to brokers too. They're going to be upfront with you. They'll tell you you're not going to get a deal.
Yeah.
Because they're going to tell the seller, hey, Ronnie's never done a multifamily deal before, but he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And the seller's going to go, I'd rather go with a guy that's closed,
done it.
15 deals. Because certainty of close.
Yeah, because you have the track record, and the broker is doing his best for his client.
Right.
So.
And it's not like a single family where you close really fast,
Yeah.
right? I mean, some of these deals go on for 3 months.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, it can be even longer. We had one with 6 months from the time we looked at it to the time we closed. So a seller, in the middle of that, if something fell through, they're starting over again.
Yeah.
They want to make sure you can close.
Yeah, that's important. And if someone has little to no money, how did they get started in multifamily real estate investing?
Yeah, I would say it's very similar to the same answer I gave.
Yeah.
Get really good at something.
Yeah.
There's a guy, Patrick, that we've helped starting last year, middle of last year. He didn't have money. He did 3 deals last year. We helped him do those 3 deals. He had no money, but he was able to find deals. He's really organized. He's good at, underwriting deals, pro formas. It was valuable.
Yeah.
So I would say, I don't like it when, I'm not saying, hey, you have no money, no credit, and you're lazy. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Right? If you say, well, hey, I don't have any money for whatever reason, I'm young.
Yeah.
Right? Patrick's young. I would much rather tell people that don't use that as an excuse. I had gurus say, if you don't have any money, you can't get multifamily.
Yeah.
That's not true. I mean, I just proved it, right? And I have another guy we helped last, Philippe. He didn't have money put in the deal either, at all.
Yeah.
But he still got a deal. He got an 80 unit. Now he's looking at a 168 unit deal.
Wow.
So if you have something that you can add of value to somebody else, it's not all money.
Yeah.
It's helpful. Don't get me wrong. If you say, well, hey, I have $500,000 sitting in the bank, that's beneficial.
Yeah.
But don't let that hold you back. All right? You can still do it.
Awesome. And what do your daily activities look like now whenever you're
looking
for deals? I mean, you have
Yeah.
apartment building in Memphis, you have 800 units in Atlanta,
Correct.
and then a couple dozen buildings here in Dallas. So tell me what your day looks like.
Yeah. So it's hectic sometimes, but it's okay because I get to work with my wife as well, Tamil, full time. And we're both kind of like that, wired. We're trying to go faster just because, but I usually try to work out, which is good. I've been pretty good about that. And I've gotten where this whole balance thing, where I've been out of whack many, many times, where I'm either out of whack, where I'm not taking care of myself, sleeping 3 hours a night, not exercising, whatever, right? I'm neglecting my wife or my kids, whatever it might be. And it's a hard balance.
Yeah.
It still is. I'm better at it than ever before. So I'll always try to get up. Usually I'm on my phone right when I get up. People say don't do that, but I'm like, I just do it.
Yeah.
I wish I did, but I do. And start responding to emails, and I go to the gym typically. Come back, and then it's looking for new deals, like you said, helping other people that are, probably do more of that now, helping other people trying to find deals than me looking at deals. I don't really go proactively looking at that many more deals anymore unless someone brings me a deal. Helping other people underwrite deals or whatever questions they have, people are students, right? And then our current deals, there's certain things going on. There's one of our partners in Atlanta, I mentioned one time before another event that, there's some legal stuff going on with him. We booted him out of the deal because some stuff he was doing.
Yeah.
So I deal with stuff like that. So people are like, I'm just going to go be a syndicator.
Yeah.
I'm going to retire from my job. Well, I did, and I love it. But you have to know what you're getting yourself into. It's not always easy. You will have certain things come up. Most attorneys you talk to will say, hey, if you're in real estate long enough, you will get sued.
Yeah.
You just will. People say, well, it's not legit. It doesn't matter. You can still get sued and spend time, money, and energy, even though the lawsuit's frivolous, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do anything else. I really wouldn't. And then I like I said, it's more helping other people right now than more on myself. And then we have events that we do, getting ready for that. We write a lot of content. So I do a lot more, which is good for the business, building more content. Every time I learn something new, I'm pushing it out to our group.
Yeah.
So they know the same thing that I know.
And for those of us who are watching, expand more on your educational company, Think Multifamily. What exactly do y'all do for real estate investors?
Right. So we kind of, for the educational piece itself, we help people that either want to become more intelligent investors, more knowledgeable investors. We also help people that actually want to go and do what we do, raise money, buy their own deals, buy bigger deals. We try to encourage people to go bigger rather than smaller. We'll help them every step of the way. We have calls that we do. We have videos that we put together. We have a bunch of documents and templates, like legal documents that literally cost thousands and thousands of dollars. We provide all that. A guy yesterday, I just gave him like a crime mitigation plan. We have everything we've gotten over the years put together and revise and tweak and tweak and tweak. You get all that. And then we have the events that we do 3 times a year that are open to the public. Mm-hmm. And then we have 3 additional events we do just for our group.
Oh, okay.
So the public's not, and then we do 2 meetups as well. So meetups are free. Come there, ask questions, where it might be. That's where we met.
Yeah, that's where we met. Yeah. We literally met last week.
Yeah, so we met there, and it was open Q&A.
Yeah.
And there's nothing, people say, oh, I'm not sure I should ask you this question. You can ask me, if I can't answer it, I'll say I'll get you the answer, but people that really know us are like, man, you guys share everything.
Yeah.
Good, bad, and ugly. And my whole point of that is you need to come in and be educated before you, I mean, think about it. You have a wife, kids, you say, I'm going to quit my job and go do multifamily, and you have some guru telling you how easy it is, and you spend your first 9 months trying to find a deal, and living off, I mean, that happens to people.
Yeah.
And that really ticks me off.
Mm-hmm.
So we give, really do. And that's kind of, we have different ones where we're doing kind of an online type thing. It's a 6-week course. We're doing that as well right now. Kicked it off last week. And then we have group coaching, one-on-one coaching. It's kind of from the gamut. From little, you can just get the material if you want, never talk to us, to, hey, I want some conversation, to, hey, I want one-on-one access to you.
Oh, okay. And talk to us about the event you have at the end of the month.
So it's in Capel, the Dallas area. It's January 27th and 28th, so it's 2 full days. We have a lot, my wife and I will be there. We'll have speakers coming in. So we have like Bob Helms, who's the father of Robert Helms, and real estate guys will be there. Kyle Wilson, who I mentioned, my mentor, he'll be there. This guy built over 1 million people on his contact list.
Wow.
Back in the day even. So he has something to teach about how to build a list. We'll have mortgage brokers there, attorneys, contractors, the whole team. A lot of panel, a lot of one-on-one interview with people. Really just full of content. On Sunday, we do a half-a-day bus tour. We actually get on buses. We go to 3 properties. We'll get into 2 of them at least, where we actually can go into the properties, go through the units. We'll tell you what we look for, what to look for when you're going to look for a deal. And that's it, pretty much.
So it's the 20th?
27th and 28th.
28th, so that's like 2 weeks from now. So we'll put a link in the comments, so that way you'll have an opportunity to attend. I don't know if it's sold out yet, but it's pretty.
We're like 95% sold out.
Yeah.
Right now, so we're real close. So if anyone's interested, they probably need to do it. And then pricing is going up as well. So people get in early, like and then it actually gets raised, and then at the door it's even more.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Awesome. And let's see. If you had to start your business from scratch in 2018, what would you do differently?
Probably differently from what, similar to what I do now, I would say, but much different than what I did before, whether it was my IT business or even when I first started real estate. I would get as educated as possibly can, and then I would hook up with somebody that's done it before, because you're gonna go so much faster. People are like, oh, I can't make an investment here and there, I can't spend this. It's like, well, think about how much faster you can go. And then it's all relationships. I didn't get that when I was doing IT. I usually go in and fix problems. I had a lot of big customers. I don't know how I just got them.
Yeah.
But if I actually understood that even then, about all the relationships you have to build, and it takes time to do that. So get educated, build relationships with people. Don't just go to someone and say, I have this deal, want to invest. It's a wrong approach. Mm-hmm. You have to build that relationship first, and it's networking. Yeah. And I'm not now at all, don't be scarcity mindset. We're like, man, I want to, Ronnie's he's going to invest, and he wants to invest in mobile home parks. Well, I would introduce you to Andrew, Illinois, who I know, rather than trying to convince you to invest in multifamily.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to get over, because you're trying to raise money. We had $6.2 million to raise during Thanksgiving and Christmas one time. So you want to get money, right?
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you your career will go much better and go even faster if you're open. You don't give your investor list to everybody, right? But sharing and giving back to people will make you successful.
Awesome. And what does your vision look like for your life and your business 5 years from now?
Yeah, that's a good question. We'll keep buying more and more properties as long as it makes sense. we might branch out into some other real estate areas. We invest in other areas, asset classes, outside of a multifamily. The education group, we really want to continue to build that community. It's not just all education either. We'll say, hey, we're going to, my wife likes to dance, so last weekend we went to dinner and she went dancing, right? So we invited some other people to come with us there. So we invite people for that, more of a family type. And we can keep building that and growing that. We're already seeing friendships that are being made in the group that are hopefully lifelong. And I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. We've met a lot of friends that way too. So we'll continue to do the building of that. I said maybe look at other asset classes. I don't know. It would depend whether we slow down a little bit or not. I don't know. Okay. Tammy wants to move to Hawaii. She says she does. So, but right now we're good where we're at. We wouldn't be doing anything else. But who knows 5 years from now what it'll look like. But I'll always be doing something like this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what was the biggest failure and lesson you learned in your real estate career and in your life? Yeah,
this is a big kind of longer, but I'll go kind of cut to the chase. That I invested in a deal, multifamily deal. I bought into an existing LLC, so the existing property, right? Instead of doing a new one, and there's reasons why we did that. But then the guy we hooked up with that was already in the deal kind of he did some things he shouldn't be doing. Let's say that some criminal in my mind, right?
Yeah.
And so now, even though we voted him out, we had 5 board members, 4 of us voted him out. All the things he did, even before I got involved in the deal, are now my problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking stuff from like a year ago that I wasn't even in the deal.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's all associated with that company. So all the people coming in that have issues with it are coming to the company. They don't care that the guy's gone.
Yeah.
So I personally would never buy into an existing company LLC like that again, personally. Okay. I'm sure people have done it and had great success.
Yeah.
I've been burned enough on the one deal, I won't do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what's the biggest thing holding you back right now to get to the next level?
Well, our next level really is to be able to keep helping people. We have a lot of content. We have a lot of things we share. And for me, it's just getting a broader audience. People don't even know who we are. That's fine. They might know who we are and decide not to do anything with us. I totally understand that. But the whole idea of getting us broader audience and, hey, this is what we do. It's real estate for sure. There's definitely differences in what we do than some of the other guys, and that's fine. Some people are attracted to that. Some people are not. So we're providing another alternative in my mind for people to totally transform their life. My life is like night and day from what it was when I did IT. I slept 3 hours a night, ignored my wife, and, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
I neglected myself. So if we can get people educated on multifamily, and they might make a decision still not to do anything, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But educated on it, how you can build your wealth and change your life, not just for yourself, but hopefully for your kids and grandkids and generational wealth. Like we homeschool our kids, we teach them stuff about multifamily, and they don't have to do it when they're older, but a lot of things they learn will be totally transferable to any business they do or any job they do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, help people get knowledgeable about it first.
Awesome. And I have such an amazing audience. So what can my audience do to support you?
I love that you have a huge audience, and I love that it's young. We have people come in. I do. I'm like, man, you start young, But I would say, listen, go to our website. You can send my email is mark@thinkmultifamily.com. Shoot me an email. Come to meetups or events. Get educated. I mean, you can literally transform your life and decide whether it's something you want to do or not. Share this, right, Ronny, to other people. But we're always putting stuff out there, and with the whole intention of hopefully people that are actually interested in it can then share it with other people. It's not really so. I don't have to have a bunch of people. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not even like that. I'm like, I don't want people acting like I'm some god, right? I don't.
Yeah.
But the fact is, if we can change people's lives, and then change their life for their kids and their grandkids, that's what I did. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now, changing my kids' lives from what I grew up with. I mean, night and day. And hopefully they can do it for their kids and etc. More people that do that, you know, I used to invest in the stock market. Dude, I was like freaked out all the time. It was like this.
Yeah.
I would like, you know, check it every like half hour, getting sick to my stomach. I wasn't even selling. And it's like, well, I'm getting sick to my stomach. So that's, for me, the security in apartment investing is physical, it's tangible, I can touch it. And that to me was, for me, having fear of money my entire life growing up, that was really beneficial to me.
Yeah. So awesome. Any last comments you would like to add?
I would just say follow good people like Ronny. I really do say that. I mean, you know, if people are giving you information, that's one thing, but look for people that are very similar. They don't have to be the same as you, but have the same integrity, character, because who you get hooked up with, I have an identical twin brother.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've mentioned before to people that, you know, our reputation was tied together.
Yeah.
If he did something, which I never did. I never did anything wrong as a kid. He always had problems. He would have disagreed with that, and it's probably partly true. But if he did something wrong, it was like Mark and Michael.
Yeah.
We both did something wrong. So be careful who you get hooked up with. And don't get so excited about this deal seems so great and jumping the gun. You need to go fast, but you need to also go slow when you need to go slow and do due diligence and engage attorneys to review things and spend that money, because if you don't, you're probably going to find one of these deals that goes south and you wish you would have spent that money up front.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mark, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Ronny. You're
welcome. And this has been very awesome. If you have any questions for us, please comment below. We're going to answer all your questions below, so make sure you comment. If you found this video of value, please share it. And that's really it, guys. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Ronny Phillips Show. And we hope you all have a great day. Also, make sure you check out Mark's event. I'm going to be putting a link in the description, and visit thinkmultifamily.com. You can hear all about what Mark is doing. Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.